How many of us have been in a conversation where we thought we understood, but later realized it was a serious misunderstanding? Effective communication is at the core of everything we do, whether in our personal lives, at work, or in our social interactions. However, communication is not just about speaking clearly. It is also about listening attentively. Verbal communication and listening are two sides of the same coin. One cannot function effectively without the other. Today, I will explore how these two elements are interconnected and how overcoming barriers in both communication and listening can improve our interactions. First, let's look at the strong connection between verbal communication and listening. Verbal communication is more than just words. It involves tone, context, and how the message is delivered. A great example of this is when a manager gives feedback to an employee. Let's say the manager says, "Your performance is good, but there are areas to improve." The words are clear, but how they are said, whether in a supportive, neutral, or critical tone, can significantly impact how the message is received. The listener's perception of those words is influenced by the tone, which is why clear verbal communication is so important. Now, listening is just as critical. As highlighted by communication experts like Stephen Covey in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, listening is not a passive activity. Active listening requires full engagement. It involves not just hearing the words, but understanding the intent behind them. When we practice active listening, we focus on the speaker, avoid distractions, and respond to confirm that we have understood. For example, in a conversation, we might paraphrase what the other person has said or ask questions to clarify their meaning. This active involvement helps to ensure that communication is successful, preventing misunderstandings and fostering stronger connections. Next, let's discuss the barriers that can disrupt both verbal communication and listening. There are many obstacles that can interfere with effective communication. On the verbal communication side, language differences, jargon, and even the way words are delivered can create misunderstandings. In cross-cultural communication, for example, words may carry different meanings in different contexts, leading to confusion. According to the Intercultural Communication Guide by Elizabeth L.W. Schramm, intercultural miscommunications often occur because people from different cultures interpret the same words differently. Listening barriers are just as impactful. Factors like physical distractions, emotional biases, and selective listening can all prevent us from fully absorbing what someone is saying. When we're distracted by background noise or our own thoughts, we may miss crucial parts of the message. In his book, The Art of Listening, Author Eric Fromm explains that listening requires more than just hearing. It involves being present with the speaker and engaging with their words thoughtfully. Emotional biases like preconceived judgments or assumptions can also cloud our ability to listen with an open mind. Fortunately, there are strategies we can use to overcome these barriers. To improve verbal communication, we can simplify our language, avoid jargon, and ensure our tone matches the message we want to convey. In intercultural communication, as Schramm suggests, we must be aware of the cultural context and adjust our language accordingly. For listening, creating an environment free of distractions, practicing empathetic listening, and being mindful of our biases are all strategies to improve our understanding. Empathetic listening, as defined by communication scholar Carl Rogers, involves not just hearing, but truly understanding the speaker's feelings and experiences. Additionally, feedback loops, such as paraphrasing what we hear or asking clarifying questions, can help ensure that both speaker and listener are on the same page. In conclusion, successful communication requires both clear verbal expression and attentive, empathetic listening. These two elements are interdependent. Effective communication is impossible without both. By overcoming barriers like language differences, distractions, and emotional biases, we can improve how we communicate and how we listen. The next time you engage in a conversation, remember, communication isn't just about speaking. It's about listening too. When we practice both clear communication and active listening, we can foster better relationships, reduce misunderstandings, and be more effective in every aspect of our lives.